Everything that you've been told about getting faster is wrong. The harder I trained, the slower I got, until I did one thing runners hate the most, slowing down. And that's when everything changed. Every week is not always the same. However, if you're running hard every day, but not getting faster, this might be why. I was stuck, frustrated, honestly ready to quit, until I discovered what running slow actually does to the body. You can get faster at the same heart rate.
Running slow feels wrong, but physiologically, it's one of the most powerful things that you can do as a runner. Now, I want to break it down in a way that actually makes sense and you can use. So, what running slow does to your body. When you run at an easy aerobic pace, zone 2, Maffetone pace, you're training your aerobic system, the foundation of endurance. Now, number one thing is it builds mitochondria, and that's your energy factories. Slow running stimulates mitochondrial growth. Now, more mitochondria that you have, the more energy is produced. See, that's one thing I didn't understand when I first started running. I didn't know that we had like these little energy systems that were created by running slow. And so when I figured this out, I thought, okay, if I continue to run slow for a long period of time, I'm going to create all of these little energy powerhouses. And when that happens, I'll have way more ATP, more energy to be able to go longer distances. And you know what? It actually worked out really well. Here's another thing. You burn more fat more efficiently. You delay fatigue, and this is tied to the concept of mitochondrial biogenesis. The real translation is your engine gets bigger, not just stronger. It's kind of like going from a V4 to a V8 in car terms. It's just a little bit bigger and not just stronger. Now, it also improves fat burning, okay? And it spares the glycogen, okay? It saves the carbs for later. So at a slower heart rate, your body prefers fat as fuel instead of carbs. So you basically stop bonking really easily. And you can run longer without needing to constantly be refueling with all the gels and everything else. Your blood sugar stays more stable, and this is metabolic flexibility. Your body can switch between fuels more efficiently. Now, the thing that I really found out the hard way and struggled with was when I was running a marathon, I hit the halfway mark and the rails just came off. It was not a good thing. And the rest of the next half of my marathon was brutal. And so nobody really, I kind of learned this, like nobody told me, like when you get sick before a race, you have to do everything that you can to not only carb load, but make sure that you have all your fluids in check and your electrolytes in check. Now, I knew a certain degree that I needed to do, but you have to, I don't know if you have to double it, but I clearly ran out really fast. And my body was not burning the right fuel for what I was trying to do. I didn't work well enough and train hard enough or train smart enough to know better. And I just thought, hey, I can do this. I can qualify for Boston. And yet it humbled me. It broke me down to my knees. And it was a sufferfest. So if I had known about running slow to get faster over time, I would have taken that approach. But I was like the Mustang and I just wanted to go fast, and I burned through all my glycogen stores, and that was the end of it. And I wasn't refueling properly and getting sick before I didn't carb load properly, and everything just kind of fell apart. Anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Hey, look, my name's David. I'm the plant-powered runner, and I've been using the Maffetone method, aka slow running, for many years. I've run marathons, I've run half marathons, I've run an ultra marathon, and a ton of 10Ks. I know what it's like to run at these slow speeds, and I know how frustrating it can be. On this channel, this is what I talk about. This is who I am. I'm a slow runner, but I get faster when I run slow. Now, the other thing is it strengthens the heart. Okay, this is your stroke volume. So your heart becomes more efficient and it pumps more blood per beat. Okay, lowering your resting heart rate, lowering heart rate at the same pace, and this is linked to stroke volume, part of the cardiovascular adaptation. Same effort, faster pace over time. And that's the beauty, that's the secret, right? Number 4 is it expands capillary density. You grow more tiny blood vessels in your muscles, which gives better oxygen delivery to those muscles, better waste removal to get rid of all like the lactate when you're going fast, right? Your muscles stay fresher for longer. Here's another one. Number 5 is it improves lactate clearance. Most people think slow running avoids the lactate, but it actually helps you clear it better and more efficient. And this connects to the lactate threshold. Now, over time, your red line moves higher, even though you rarely train at that level. Okay. Number 6 is it reduces injury and stress hormones, lower impact forces. I mean, we're 4 times the weight when we're running, and that's hard enough. And it lowers the cholesterol, faster recovery, lets you train more consistently, which is where real progress happens. Now, this is why running slow makes you faster. And here's the part that most people totally miss, including me at the beginning. Speed equals aerobic power and efficiency. Slow running improves both of them. You build a massive aerobic base by running tons of mileage at a slow pace. And think of it like upgrading, like I said before, from a 4-cylinder engine to a V8. And when you eventually add speed, you can handle it and you'll be able to recover faster from it. You don't burn out. And number 2 is you can train more. You can do more training and more volume because it's easier on your body. Now look, here's the thing. I'm still sick. But more weekly mileage, more repetition of good form, more adaptations, more mitochondria, right? The volume is the biggest driver of endurance performance. You become more efficient at the same heart rate over time. And this is where the magic happens. I've done it. I've seen it, right? With my MAF training. Same heart rate, faster pace over months of training, right? Same pace, lower heart rate. It's pure aerobic improvement, development. And it can happen. You just have to be consistent at it. And number 4 is you delay fatigue at faster speeds. Even when you race, I've gone through it and it works. So I rely less on my glycogen and I produce less lactate, meaning I last longer before I have to start slowing down. Now, think of it like this is a simple way to think about it, okay? Fast training makes you tired. Slow training makes you better. And why most runners never improve? They stay in the middle zone for too long. Too fast to build aerobic fitness and too slow to build real speed. And this is often called the gray zone. We runners, we feel like we're working hard, okay? But you're not adapting properly to the training that you're doing, okay? The long-term payoff is, this is really the truth of the matter. If you commit to running slow, month 1 feels very frustrating, trying to get it all right. Month 2, your heart rate starts to stabilize really nicely. Month 3 is your pace starts dropping. 6 months later, you're running faster at the same easy effort. That's what happened to me. This is exactly what Dr. Phil Maffetone has talked about and his method was built on, okay? Now, the bottom line of this is running slow, you build your engine, improves efficiency, lets you train so much more, It keeps you injury free so you don't have to go through the injury cycle and start all over again. Okay. So over time, it raises the ceiling without constantly pushing it. Now, there are a couple of things that I would like to add into this video that I think you would need to know. Yes, all of these things happen and it really does work. Every runner is different. So no two runners may see the exact same results, right? Some people, it may take longer to see results. Some people see it sooner. Just all depends on how long you've been running, your fitness, your weight, the weather outside, like just, it goes on and on. So don't try to compare yourself to anybody, okay? But there's a but in all of this, and it is mileage. I've done a lot of different experiments in my training over the years of using this method. And the one thing that I'm going through right now, which is really interesting to see, is when you're not running very much and you're trying to do this running slow thing to be able to get faster, it is extremely hard. You have to have mileage in your legs. You can't just go out for like an hour a week or even 2 hours a week or even 3 hours a week. If you want to see real results by running slow to be able to get faster, whether you're using the Maffetone method, whether you're using resting heart rate, maximum heart rate, using the Kvarvin formula to come up with your zones and whatnot, it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't even matter if you just kind of go out and you just start shuffling along or jogging, if you want to call it that, or whatever it is, okay? If you go out and you're only doing a handful of days, like not even a handful, like I honestly believe, based on my training that I've done over the years, high volume, slow running, low volume, with not a whole lot of running. If you're in the camp of not being able to consistently get out there at least 5 times a week and putting in at least an hour, you may have some problems seeing the results that you may want to see. I have big expectations of myself when I'm training and what I want to see, because I know I've been through it. And yes, I shouldn't compare, but I still do. I'm a human being, okay? I am what I am. I compare previous runs. I compare previous months, previous years. It may not be good for the brain, but it is what it is, you know? But if you can get out there, and whether you train by distance or whether you train by time, I like training by time. Now, it may be funny because you look at my runs and I do like 10K, 6 miles, like it's just standard. But that's just the route that I run because I know how long it used to take me when I ran an hour. Obviously, I'm slower as I'm getting older and I'm not training as much. But I like training by time because on the weekend, if you do those 5 hours during the week, and then on the weekend, you at least get one run in and it's your long run, and you can eventually make that like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now that is something special because I believe, based on my experience and my training, what it did for me is it helped me push through plateaus, adding in that extra time. Now, there will come a point where slow running eventually breaks down and you're not improving anymore. It's just like going to the gym and you're benching, right? And you're like, after a while, you're like, you know, if you don't keep going up or you're resisting the bench press or whatever it is, eventually, like, you don't improve anymore. You kind of stagnate. Same thing happens when you're running slow. Eventually, your body's like, okay, nothing's happening, I'm not improving anymore. That's when you got to throw in some speed. Maybe you do a couple of weeks of, faster running. Maybe you get a threshold run in there. Maybe you get a tempo run in. Maybe you do some fartleks, right? Maybe you do some strides at the end of a run. Whatever it is, there is a time and a place for that. Because when you progress that one level, like one more level, then having that one extra fast day built into your schedule, people have seen great results when you add in that one faster run during the week. I've seen it, and it's pushed me through those plateaus, and it's fantastic. The one thing I would say is you're going to lose your top end speed faster than you will lose your base. Your base is your base. And if you start losing your base, okay, you got some work to do. But be able to get those higher end speeds when you really need them, you can get those back. In my opinion, that's just the way it's worked for me. So hopefully you like this video. It's a little different, but I'm still recovering. I still have a little bit of something going on. I tried to go out for a run last week. It worked, but this thing is just hanging on. So doing a little bit of walking, it's helping. Till the next one, everyone, get out and run.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel.